You haven't seen me today, so I thought I'd come on. Do you like what I did with my cat? I spray painted it, inspired by that movie I shared yesterday about graffiti artists in San Francisco. So let's cut to the chase. For COMMGiving, talking about the economy in 2019 with regards to customers, foreign and domestic. All right. So what should we do? What should we do? You know, the growth rate of the economy. Some countries 6%, like China, maybe Vietnam 4 or 5%, Canada 1%, 2%, Britain, one, just a little bit over 1%, Germany a little bit higher, 1.8% maybe. What should we do? What should we do? Everybody's at different growth rates. What's in it for us? So here's my tip, and I'm not the only economist on YouTube. So check around. I think there's a guy in upstate New York in his fishing cabin, and talking to a couple of his buddies with selling stuff on eBay. And I think there's a economist somewhere else, like a kid or something. So imagine, if you will, that math question. Maybe not. Maybe you have done it. Maybe you haven't done it yet. Two trains coming at each other. But there's also a variation of that math puzzle, which is two trains, like, side by side, but going at different rates. Which, if you're trading with people, you're more like that. So if you're in the train that's going fast, like China, and you're in the train that's going slow, like Canada, what happens is you start falling behind. All right. So for a country like China that needs more supplies, right? Or to that let's in terms of sales, country like China that needs a lot of sales in order to keep its growth rate. That wants used to sell to Canada can no longer sell to Canada because it's slow. It's slow here. You can't sell to someone that's experiencing slow times. So if you're in a train relative to a customer in a country that's going slow, then you have to look at other countries. You can't just wait around for that order because this customer in this train, that customer in that train is slowing, right? And the rate is acceleration, so you're just going faster, right? So you have to look around for other customers. Now, what about this guy? Right. What about this guy? If you're in this slow train and you're trying to sell to people, what you find is that you're probably booked for the year. So you're trying to sell to China. They bought everything you can possibly make that year because they're going so fast, demand so high. And on top of that, they got more orders, but the government in Canada, for example, is kind of, why don't you spend money and then, expand, open up. It doesn't work that way, right? And most of the time, maybe you might be a small or medium business, and and psychologically, in Canada, a lot of it has to do with personality. So you're a small medium manufacturer. You're just happy with your lifestyle, and your employees are happy with their lifestyle. That's good enough for you. So you don't want to expand, right? You don't want to become a major corporation. But guess what? You're booked. You're totally booked off for the whole year. And then your customer in China might have so much orders they have to look around for other suppliers. But at the same time, while you're booked off, is that true or not? It's true. There's no one else opening. There's no competition because the rest of the country is so slow. So suppliers in the slow country find that they're totally bought out for the whole year. and yet they will not expand because if you're a small, medium manufacturer, it has more to do with your personality and your lifestyle than it does having to do with MBAs and international corporations and New York Stock Exchange, right? You will not expand. You don't want to be part of Wall Street. You don't want to be part of Warren Buffett's portfolio. You don't want any of that. You're booked out for the year. Everything's privately paid for. You just have to do good work, right? So in a country that's slow, and that's why I'm influential, because it's the truth. Country that's slow, everybody's booked off for a year, and yet they will not expand, and there will be no one new, just like in a slow economy, would dare open something new, right? So these companies, these countries with high demand will look elsewhere. All right. Now your high demand country, right? And you're selling to customers that are slow, then you have to look for other customers. All right. Then that's why you see China, they might be expanding to Latin America, South America, they might be expanding to Africa, because one of their major customers in North America, Canada, is extremely slow now. So that's all like the economic growth rate and 2019 and customers. You gotta look at the train you're on, and then the train for your customers. All right, whether it's faster for them, you know, in the country they're at, and that's how you think about it. See you later, alligators.